Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me back on my channel. So I'm here with Colm, giving him his Ventolin. I've learnt a lot in the last few weeks. So if you want to find out how we got to this point, keep watching. And I'll take you back in time to a couple of weeks ago when we took Mr. Colm here up to the vet. So here we are back up at Horsemed. So Bella came along for the ride because she's never stayed at home before on her own, and I don't think he's been out in the float on his own before. So I thought, let's just keep it simple and all the horses happy, and we'll take them both. And they floated up beautifully. This was Colm's very first time here at Horsemed. He's actually only been out in the float, I think Mum and I worked it out, probably only about 7 times. So he did really, really well. I was very proud of him. He was a bit suspicious of the vet to start with, like, what do you want to do to me? So here she is just doing the initial consult where we chatted a lot about what's been going on with him. She was obviously listening to his heart and just giving him an overall checkup before we then moved into the main arena, which is their wonderfully equipped hospital here. So he was a little, again, very suspicious about walking in because, I mean, the smells would have been very strong for him, and he had to walk in on this rubber matting. And then she said, now just pop him through here into the crush. And I thought, yeah, sure. No worries. And he was like, I don't think I really want to. As you can see there, he just wanted to get back to Bella, I think. He's like, what are you asking me to do here? But it is so well equipped here. They were able to open up the side there, so he felt like, and then he wanted to pop out. Everyone was so patient. I'm so impressed with having such a wonderful vet clinic so close to home. It's invaluable. But yeah, everyone was just really calming. It was a lovely calming environment, and made him feel as comfortable as we could. So we finally got him in and settled. And to be honest, I was so impressed with how he handled everything, because he's not sedated here. And in the past, when I've brought Bella into this section of the vet clinic, she's generally sedated. Here we started off with a scope, and this was with no sedation. They did pop a twitch on him, which he's never had that on before either. And she managed to have a look down into his airway. So this is just the initial part of looking. Mum was so good with her video skills. She managed to get a good look at the screen. So if you're a bit squeamish, sorry about that, but I found this really interesting. So in my layman's terms, not being a vet, what she relayed to me is that there was food in his airway. So there was bits that looked like grass. So he has been aspirating into his airway, which is a concern, and we're still not 100% sure why that's been happening. So that is still under investigation. But she's looking here at all the little, I don't know the proper terms, but the valves, making sure everything's working properly, and that's not the reason for the aspiration. She also had a good look at his soft palate, make sure that's all functioning correctly. So he did really, really well to put up with this at the start, because like I said, this is without sedation. Again, super proud of my little man. He was such a good boy. So I've left all of this in because I found it, like I said, quite fascinating that they can take a camera, like they do with us, I suppose, as humans, but they can really check it all out. And she's taking little photos along the way so she can then review them later on.
Sorry, we're just at the scope at the moment.
So the consensus was that she did initially on consultation think that we're dealing with equine asthma. So there you just saw a little bit of stuff That's like little bits of food hanging about in there, which shouldn't really be in there. So the plan of action was to do this scope, then to also do and I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's basically a wash of the lungs. So they put saline solution down into the lungs, which you'll see a snippet of that in a sec, which was a nice big fat tube. I felt really bad for him, and it did make him cough quite a bit. And they washed the lungs out. And then they extract some of that saline solution back out, and that gets sent off to pathology. So this is the camera. He had a bit of sedation here for this bit of it because she had to go deeper down in through the airway. So when the pathology came back, it showed that there was no food particles in the lung. In saying that, we did see, or the vet did see, some slight little bits when she pulled the saline solution out. So she's going to be following up with that. But she also ran blood tests because of the food in the airway. She was worried about infection, but all his blood results came back normal. His insulin levels were normal, which was good to know because he is prone to being laminetic and having those insulin issues, and this time of year is the worst time of year if you've got a pony that is prone to that. So that was good to know that his insulin levels were all correct, and he also had no inflammation markers, which was also a good sign. So the insulin comes into play because the treatment for the asthma is a steroid Ventolin puffer, and the steroid can play havoc with their insulin levels. So the fact that his were all fine was good because it meant that we could put him onto whatever treatment the vet wanted to do. So this here is the big fat tube going in, and then they flush the lungs with saline, which basically makes him feel a little bit like he's drowning, which is pretty horrible. I didn't really want to watch, and I was very grateful for Mum to keep on filming. She did at one point end up stopping, and she said she'd go and check on Bella. But yeah, so this is the tube going in, and then they flush it with the saline, and then, like I said, extract that back out to send that off to pathology. So this is them extracting the saline back out. I was getting a bit concerned. I really didn't like him coughing like that. It was horrible, and I thought he must be feeling terrible. He did have to have an extra bit of sedation as well, just to make him a bit more comfortable. The vet did then, after the tube comes out, she did go on to check his teeth because that could have been a reason for him aspirating. But we do think between the two of us that it could be the fact that he is a little pig and he eats very fast, and when he gets to go out on the grass he really gulps the grass. So here they are just with the gag, so they checked his teeth out and his teeth were all fine. So it's a matter of me wetting all his hay. He has all damp feed, and keeping him on short grass, and if he goes out on long grass he's going to have to wear a muzzle to slow him down, and hopefully that will help with the aspiration. But we will follow up with that at a later date. So I'm so glad I took Colm back up to, for first time for him, but that I went back up to HorseMed to get that checked out, because it is something that was worrying me, that his cough was quite consistent, and and his breathing was quite heavy. And over the last couple of weeks that we've been using the puffer, it has
I've not heard a cough at all. So fingers crossed that we have really helped him out and he's feeling better. And as you could see from the little bit of footage of the lunging, he is getting a little bit fitter and he's showing me some really nice paces and becoming a little bit more rhythmical on the lunge anyway. So next stop for Colm is a saddle fitting, which is happening in a few days. I'm hoping, and again, fingers crossed, that we can adapt Bella's saddle to fit him. I have ridden him in it and it's not too bad, but of course he's such a big, wide Connemara that I think the gullet needs to be brought out a little wider. So I'm just hoping that that's able to be done on that saddle. Because that other little saddle, if you've been following along, I did buy a little Wintex saddle, but it didn't even come close to fitting him, so I think I'm going to sell that. I was going to keep it in case I got a young baby and used it as like a first saddle when I was breaking in, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So anyway, I might just pop it up on Marketplace and see if I can sell it. If not, it'll just stay there on the shelf. It wasn't a huge amount of money. But yeah, thank you again for watching. And if you like what you see, please give me a like and leave a comment and make sure that you subscribe if you don't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.